Good day, friends. Today, I wanted to share a little bit with you. We've been talking about commands and what the Bible says about this and about that, and we've been discussing how there's many different beliefs out there and how religion has used the Bible in a certain extent to control people. Now, my wife and I were having a discussion this morning, and I wrote it down because what she said was just phenomenal. And here's how it goes. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we tolerated each other's beliefs instead of focusing on differences and superiority? Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we just tolerated each other's beliefs? What if we looked for the similarities instead of being so eager to destroy others' beliefs in the name of God? I thought that was a profound statement. Look for the similarities in other people's beliefs rather than trying to destroy or look for the differences. And doing it all in the name of God is what religion's all about. And here's the final question. What if we accepted that there are differences and that's okay? So what if there's differences? So we just accept there's differences. There's going to be differences and it's okay. So I wanted to show you a few differences in my travels as a Jehovah's Witness. And we're at the Jehovah's Witness website right now. We're going to look at the 10 Commands. What are the 10 Commandments? And the reason I pulled theirs up is because they have it listed nicely, all 10 of them. And the first one is worship only Jehovah God, or Yahweh, or Yeshua, however you want to put it. Worship the Supreme Being. Worship the Great Spirit, the indigenous people would say. The next one is do not practice idolatry. So if you don't know what idolatry is having idols. So idols over God. So money could be an idol over God. I'm just saying. Do not take up God's name in a worthless way. So do we use, some religions don't even use God's name, the YHWH. They don't pronounce it because they don't want to use it in a bad name. And I think that that's good. I think that as a Jehovah's Witness, we had little children run around whipping us with Jehovah's name, saying Jehovah's going to get you if you're bad. I don't know. This is what goes on in the Jehovah's Witness religion, and God's name is not used properly in that religion. I will agree with this, that some religions are very careful about how they pronounce God's name, but yet in the same token, they make God's name known. I think that's important. Keeping the Sabbath. The Sabbath is Saturday, not Sunday. This is the Christian under this law. Honor your parents. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not testify falsely, and do not covet. The word covet is to want something of your neighbors. Want it to the point that you're going to steal it. But this covers stealing. But even to the point of wanting something. The Bible talks a lot about coveting coveting another man's wife. It talks a lot about that. So these 10 commandments talk about that. Now, what I want to do is go to another kind of a law, another kind of a 10 commands, and I want you to tell me on comments what you think. If you think the differences are too big, that you'd stick with the 10 commands and these other commands are no good. So here we go. I'll have to just fade out and we'll come into this other section. Okay, so now we have the Dene Law, and it's kind of a picture of it. I'm going to go to a word copy where it's put on a word copy, but I wanted you to see the picture, the Dene Law, and this is not something I made up. But there's 13 rules here. And then at the end, it says, prepare the children for a good life by teaching them in this way. And it is your responsibility to do this. And it uses the words Yamori. I didn't say, I butchered that word, but they say it beautifully, like shalom means kind of the same thing. And if you don't know what shalom means, it means may peace, goodwill be with you. I believe that's what it means. I can be corrected online. Thank you. everyone, for your comments. But I thought I wanted to show you this. And could you imagine you go up as a pioneer to these unassigned territories and you come back with this, and you're, as a pioneer, you're intrigued and you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. We're going to go over each of these and compare it to the 10 commands. But now you imagine you're an elder in an elders meeting, and this is circulating around you, and you're saying, who, brother, who, I'm afraid he's demonized. He's demonized. He likes this stuff. Then we know that this stuff is from the devil. And I'm going to show you, folks, how there's no intolerance in the Jehovah's Witness. And this is done by the governing body. They instruct the elders to be like this. So we'll go into the copy here and I'll show it to you. Okay, so here it is. Here's the 13 rules of life to equate to the 13 lunar cycles in a year. Number one, when you share, it shows you care about your neighbors and the elderly. So right here, it talks about sharing and looking after the afflicted. Number two, help each other. So says my mother, especially the sick and the needy. So again, helping each other is about helping the sick and the needy, the afflicted. Loss, when someone passes on, share the loss and help the orphans and the widows. So the orphans and the widows again are looked after when there's a loss. Love is the predominant energy taught, and everyone is treated as family in the village. So this is a rule all of its own. They talk about love. Number five, respect. Respect is the biggest effect on our elders in our land. So they talk about respect where the little kids would not run around and disrupt the elders while they're eating. And that's what they have right in their law. And that's how they teach the children respect right from infancy. Sleep. So they talk about sleep. Rule number 6 is something to keep. The human host is designed to sleep at night, work during the day. And this will create balance, allowing the soul to play. Now, that's just my little thing, but sleep is that rule, and it's designed to help them manage the village. So in some of these villages at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, they sound a horn and all the kids have to go into their houses, because you remember in the summertime is daylight 24/7, and you can get confused as to what time of the day it is. So sleep is important. Now, number 7, thoughts. Thoughts are seen across our faces by reflection, good thoughts toward others, and we will gain the same energy back. So they talk about thoughts, number 7, and working together throughout the village. Number 8, anger. It's like a dagger. Take your leave at the outset of anger. It's bad medicine. So they call anger bad medicine. Um, I and we all know it's bad medicine. The Bible calls it bad medicine. Children. So it shows at number 9, children are to be trained to show love and respect to the elders, and at play, school, and at home, and with all sexes. So it's interesting that they make a special law about training the children, because children are our future, and they talk about that a lot. Now, number 10, I found interesting, and this is how they pass on all these stories. This particular village that I visited, they had no written language for thousands of years until English came in, and then they did some translating. And I actually know the guy that's part of the translating process. Now, the storytellers of life, they're the responsibility of the elders to teach the children with stories that they will remember, so the circle of life continues with balance and harmony. So the storytellers of life, the elders that do this in the village, would pass all of these laws here down through stories. And there's not a lot. It's all on one page. It's 13. It matches the lunar cycles. They'd probably use stories like that to explain that, and it made sense. 11. Happiness is an energy to achieve each day as we reflect on the beauties and wonders of our earthly journey, and our family brought us here, our friends that surround us. So they use the words Mother Earth when they talk in their words, and that's what they're trying to achieve, is happiness in the village. And they do a lot without words in these villages. They do a lot by observing how people react. They see people. They look beyond. And it's interesting. Number 12, worry and judgment are to be non-existent, for if displayed, they will attract back the same energy. So always look for the good inside people and you'll not see the imperfections on the outside. And number 13, the medicine power, be honest at all times and have respect for the medicine power of our elders. So they talk about the medicine power, the older ones, they give the wise instructions and they talk about that being like medicine to the village. So I thought that was really interesting. And I thought not much different from the 10 commands, these laws. So what do you think? Uh, I think we can be more tolerant, but I don't know it all either, So, but what I do know is that if we keep living our life with love, it will make a difference. And that's what I encourage. Is that's what we see here is love. People that love each other in the village, and so they made some laws upon love, and the laws not they go beyond. They tell us how to deal with death and how to look after the orphans and the widows. And I think it's a beautiful law, and easy law. No disfellowshipping, no none of these other rules. This is so simple, but when you bring this back to the elders, I think it's from the devil. So I'll let you guys decide. But until next time, keep living your life with love. Bye for now.